Hello, everyone, and thank you for participating in the Lytham Partners Spring 2022 Investor Conference. My name is Joe Diaz. I'm a managing partner at Lytham Partners. For this presentation, we welcome Aziyo Biologics, which trades on the NASDAQ exchange under the ticker symbol AYZO. Representing Aziyo Biologics today are Ron Lloyd, President and CEO, and Matt Ferguson, Chief Financial Officer. Ron and Matt will run through a slide presentation, and we will engage in a brief Q&A fireside session afterwards. Before we begin, for those not familiar, Lytham Partners is one of the country's leading investor relations firms. With more than 2 decades of corporate access experience, we've built one of the industry's most diverse and effective platforms for connecting small cap companies with high quality and focused institutional investors. One more final item before we begin. I want to remind you that Ron and Matt will be available for one-on-one meetings later this week. If you have not already signed up, please visit the Lytham Partners website at lythampartners.com/virtual and click the one-on-one meeting request button. With that said, let me turn the proceedings over to Ron Lloyd, President and CEO of Aziyo Biologics. Ron, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Joe, and also thank you for hosting us at your conference. Aziyo was formed 6 years ago, and we saw this unique opportunity to reduce complications that are created by implanting medical devices. Anytime you put in a medical device into the human body, you have the opportunity for a foreign body reaction. And so we saw an opportunity to reduce the complications associated with this foreign body reaction. And by doing so, we've created a number of tissue-based products that are proprietary and patented. And our products are designed to reduce the complications that are associated with these implantable devices. And so with that introduction, let me go through and give you more details around the company. Obviously, I want to make sure that you're aware of our forward-looking statements. I would encourage you to go through this as well as all of our filings that we have with the SEC for more details on the company. And so as we think about Aziyo, again, we feel that we're relatively uniquely differentiated by servicing what we believe is a very attractive marketplace. When we look at implantable medical devices, we think that there's approximately 2 million patients each year that are receiving devices such as implantable electronic devices that are pacemakers or defibrillators, could be hardware for orthopedic or spine repair, or other implantable devices for soft tissue reconstruction. So collectively, this generates roughly about a 2 million patient population. And when we look at that from a dollar perspective, it actually turns into a $3 billion market opportunity. And again, for each of these markets, we have unique products that are differentiated and provide advantages versus competitive products. Our flagship product is our Kangaroo product. It is the only biological product on the marketplace today to be used in conjunction with implantable electronic devices. Again, these are pacemakers, defibrillators, or neurostimulation devices. In addition to our current Kangaroo product, we're very excited about our next generation version, which is Kangaroo RM. And for Kangaroo RM, we've actually taken the same biological envelope and we've added antibiotics to it. And then the antibiotics are eluted to reduce the risk of infection for those same patients. From a timing perspective, we just recently filed our 510K for Kangaroo RM, and we expect to have clearance hopefully here in the second half of this year. For our Kangaroo product, we sell it actually through our own direct sales force, but we have partnerships that also augment and support the sales of Kangaroo. We have partnerships with 2 of the major cardiac implantable device companies, Boston Scientific and Biotronic. They help support the promotion of our product. Obviously, they have very large commercial organizations. They actually see the benefit of having Kangaroo used in conjunction with their devices. And we're pleased with the partnerships that we have. In addition to Kangaroo, as I mentioned, we're also in the orthopedic spine marketplace. We have a viable bone matrix platform. We've designed a basically unique proprietary process to preserve the health of within bone repair products. And we have 3 products off this platform. In addition, in the soft tissue reconstruction, we have a product called Simpliderm. And we see these products actually also as additional growth drivers to the company, as well as providing additional cash generation. In terms of cash, we recently completed a PIPE in the 4th quarter of last year. This actually strengthens our balance sheet and puts us in a great position for our future investments, and particularly the launch of Kangaroo RM. And then finally, we believe we're certainly at a very attractive valuation where we are today. And we believe so based on a number of catalysts that we have that are very near term. Catalysts such as the potential launch here of Kangaroo RM, catalysts with additional growth of our viable low matrix products, catalysts through additional growth of our Simpliderm product. So we think we're very well poised for accelerated growth. And we think that at our current valuation, it's a very attractive opportunity to come into the company. So with that introduction, let me go through some recent highlights. Obviously, we reported out our fiscal 21 sales. We had sales last year of $47.4 million. That represented 11% growth over the prior year. We also discontinued a product called FiberCell during last year. If you exclude that product, our growth rate was 19%. We reported 4th quarter 21 revenues of $10.9 million. And we gave guidance for this year. Our guidance ranges from $47 to $50 million, again, representing a growth of 11 to 18%, excluding FiberCell. And as I mentioned with the PIPE, we ended the year with $30 million roughly in cash balance. For our PIPE, again, we raised $14 million. The key participants for that PIPE was Berkshire Capital. They actually approached us. They saw what they believed was an excellent opportunity for the growth of our company and wanted to be participating as an investor in the company. So they led the PIPE. We also had participation from Deerfield Capital and High Cape. Both of them were key investors to the company from the initiation and have participated with the company throughout the life of Aziyo over the last 6 years. Again, the PIPE helps support the launch of our Kangaroo RM. And again, we're very excited about this product. As I mentioned, we just submitted our 510K for Kangaroo RM. And again, it's our Kangaroo envelope loaded with the antibiotics rifampin and minocycline. And we'll talk more about this in more detail in the next couple of slides. But we see the opportunity here with Kangaroo and Kangaroo RM to really propel the growth of the company. As you'll hear when we go through the next couple of slides, we believe Kangaroo RM in itself can be a product that will generate more than $100 million for our company. So let's go through a little bit more detail on why we believe that's the case. So again, Kangaroo is the only biomaterial envelope on the marketplace today that's used with implantable electronic devices. When we look at the market size, there's about 600,000 procedures where patients are receiving an implantable pacemaker, defibrillator, or neurostimulation device. So that translates into about a $600 million market opportunity. As we talked about, when you put a foreign object in the body, you can have a number of complications. You can get fibrotic capsule formation. The device can migrate or move. You can have erosion, infection, and then since the device is close to the skin, patients often have discomfort. Again, we're in a very unique position as the only biological biomaterial envelope for treating and improving the complications associated with these implantable devices. Our product, once implanted, actually generates into new tissue that's healthy and it's vascularized, protecting the patient from the device during the implantation of that device. You can see here in the photographs on the far left, our Kangaroo product. It becomes hydrated, very soft and supple. And the middle picture gets implanted. And then over time, roughly within a 6-month period, it then remodels into native tissue. And you can see in the bottom right, actually the pocket that's healthy, it's been formed around the device. And you can see the vascularity of having blood vessels, again, bringing in nutrients and cells to protect the device and protect the patient. So a very unique solution for the product. Here's another example of the benefit of our product. So on the picture on the left, this is a patient that's come back for a change out after having a pacemaker. And often you have to change out these products due to battery life. You can see the white fibrotic scar tissue that has formed around the device. And you can also see the leads, the metal wiring there that's also now encased in this fibrotic material. So you can imagine it takes additional time and effort to dissect out the leads without nicking them or damaging them or dislodging them, which would lead to more complications and a longer procedure. Obviously, you also then have to dissect out the fibrotic material around the device. That also can lead to more complications such as higher risk of infection or hematoma. On the right, you can see this is a patient who's come back after receiving Kangaroo as their implementation with their device. And you can see how it's remodeled them to healthy native tissue. You can see that nice pink supple tissue. You can see the vascularity within the tissue. Obviously, the leads are easily accessible, and it makes for an easy change out in that patient. So again, we're very excited. Again, we're the only product in the marketplace that has this biological effect of remodeling. And then we now actually are taking it to the next level of taking this biological envelope and then adding antibiotics. So again, what we've done is we've taken basically a dissolvable polymer ring that you can see in the picture in the top, that relatively light, faint orange ring. That's our polymer ring. That then ring is embedded with the antibiotics rifampin and minocycline. And once implanted, basically the polymer dissolves and it releases the antibiotics and provides a sustained release up to 7 days after implantation. Again, that's designed then to reduce the risk of infection associated with those patients. And so from a timing perspective, as I mentioned, we recently just filed our 510K. And again, we're anticipating product approval and launch in the second half of this year. We've also conducted some market research, and not surprisingly, as you would expect, when we talk to electrophysiologists about our product and the benefits of Kangaroo RM, which is having a biomaterial product plus having antibiotics, you can see we have a very favorable profile. More than 80% indicated they would consider using this product in the marketplace because of the biological effects as well as the antibiotic effects. So we're very excited about this. Again, as I mentioned, we believe Kangaroo RM has the potential to exceed more than $100 million in market. If you think about it, it's a $600 million market opportunity. So again, it's still relatively low penetration in a very large market. And we think this is certainly going to be a key catalyst for growth for the company in the near term and over the next several years. In terms of our go-to-market strategy, we sell Kangaroo directly through our own sales organization. We have approximately 30 territories. But as I mentioned earlier, we also have Boston Scientific and Biotronic. Both of them are large players within this device marketplace. You can see collectively they're about 35% of the market when you look at the pie chart to the right. And so you can see with our own sales force and these partnerships, we've got great market opportunity and penetration through relatively large share of voice through these partnerships. And again, they receive a small commission when our Kangaroo product, Kangaroo RM, would be placed on their device. We also have just received in the relatively last 12 months a breakthrough designation from Premier. Premier is a large GPO. They looked at our Kangaroo product, they understood the technology, the benefit of having a biological-based product, and gave us breakthrough status. So we've been leveraging that. In fact, a lot of our growth that's happened over the last year was driving greater penetration within Premier hospitals by having this breakthrough designation. So again, we're very excited about the market opportunity and our go-to market strategy. So as we think about the future here, obviously we've got the near-term catalyst from Kangaroo RM and the launch. With the launch, we'll look at expanding our footprint. We see the opportunity to go to 40 sales representatives with the launch of Kangaroo RM. We also have the opportunity to sell the product internationally. We are selling Kangaroo today with a label that includes basically the hydration with an antibiotic. That antibiotic is gentamicin in Europe. We have Biotronic as a partner in Europe. They're actually a German-based company. That product is in the market, and we're seeing nice growth. They'll be obviously off a small base since we just introduced that product, but we're excited about the international growth opportunity as well. We have a number of ongoing clinical trials. These trials are designed to further showcase the remodeling benefits of our product. We have a HEAL study, which is looking at, again, patients coming back in for change out. We'll look at patients that received Kangaroo previously versus a synthetic envelope or no envelope. And we'll look at the remodeling benefits, do some tissue histologies, and we'll look at complications during those change outs. And again, we think this will further demonstrate the remodeling benefits of our product. We also have a clinical study looking at patients receiving Kangaroo for the first time, or de novo patients. And we'll look at those patients receiving Kangaroo versus no envelope, and we'll follow a subset of those patients for up to 5 years. So again, we believe these clinical trials will further show the remodeling benefits of our product. And again, of course, now we'll augment that with Kangaroo RM in the future with having antibiotics as well. And as we look at Kangaroo, we see it as a platform. There's obviously the opportunity to go beyond pacemakers, defibrillators, to neurostimulation devices. And as more and more new implantable devices hit the marketplace, we think that also creates additional opportunity for Kangaroo growth. So all in all, very excited about the opportunity with Kangaroo. Obviously, the near-term catalyst here with potential of launching Kangaroo RM in the second half of this year. Large market opportunity and a very unique and differentiated product to serve this marketplace. In terms of our other products, we'll quickly cover those. When we think about our overall nomenclature for our company, we talk about our core products. These are our branded differentiated products. We talked about the Kangaroo product. For soft tissue reconstruction, we have a product called SimpliDerm. And for orthopedic and spine repair, we have a number of products off our unique proprietary platform of making viable bone matrices. Again, these are our core products. And then we also do contract manufacturing. This is basically leverages our manufacturing facility that produces SimpliDerm and our orthopedic and spine repair products. It's a smaller part of our business, but it gives a chance to absorb overhead and raw materials that are used in that facility. I'll go now into a little bit more detail with our SimpliDerm product, and then I'll talk about our orthopedic and spine repair products. So on SimpliDerm, again, this is used for soft tissue reconstruction. The marketplace here is $500 million. This is $500 million of actual human dermis product that's used in the United States today, used in roughly about 100,000 procedures. As we look at this marketplace, and we're competing predominantly against other human dermis products, we actually designed SimpliDerm with a patented process that allows us to decellularize the material in such a way that we can take the cells out of the material but not damage the underlying structural matrix that's in human dermis. And by doing so, we have shown a lower inflammatory response, a foreign body response, and we previously have shown that it promotes healthy remodeling. So we feel we have actually a very unique and differentiated product and a very large market opportunity. Our growth strategies here are very simple. We want to go out and collect and build clinical evidence to support the differentiation of our product. We're running a number of clinical trials. In fact, we just recently had a publication in February showing the benefits of our product. The study was published with more than 100 patients, patients using our SimpliDerm product versus the market leader, and showed that our product was clinically equivalent to the market leader in this marketplace. We're going to leverage our clinical data, expand our market access, and get onto more hospitals from a formulary perspective. And then we're going to drive awareness and adoption of this product in the marketplace. We do that now through a national distributor network. And when we look at our performance over the last several quarters, and we've gone through our earnings calls, both Kangaroo and our SimpliDerm product have been the leading growth engines for our company. So we're excited about SimpliDerm. The market opportunity has performed very nicely, and we see the opportunity to drive further growth of this asset. And then finally, just on the orthopedic spine repair market, we've got roughly, again, 3 products that within this marketplace. We have a unique, basically, processing program here that allows us to design and produce these products in a way that they have healthier cells. And you can look at the bottom left chart. This compares our product to other cellular bone products and the processes they go through. Our products are designed to have healthier cells, and by having healthier cells, they basically do not trigger apoptosis or program cell death. Once implanted, then they perform their function to generate new bone. So again, 3 products off this. We're going to drive growth by additional clinical differentiation. Here we sell these products through partnerships. We're going to work with our partners to drive additional growth. We're also signing new partners to our portfolio as well. We have a number of new partners that we've already basically signed in Q1, and we anticipate signing more throughout the year. And then we've got the opportunity to generate additional new products off this platform. We hope to bring out 1 or 2 more products over the next 12 to 18 months as well. So again, we see an opportunity here to drive accelerated growth within this platform as well. So just to summarize again, we think we're uniquely positioned in large markets with differentiated products. We have a number of near-term catalysts, particularly the Kangaroo platform with the new addition here of the potential launch of Kangaroo RM later this year. We think this will put us into a far greater growth acceleration mode. And we think that where we are today from a valuation perspective, we're a very attractive stock relative to our future growth opportunity based on these near-term catalysts. So again, we're very excited about the momentum that we've built for the company, but more importantly, we see 2022 as kind of the breakout year for AZYO, again, based on quite a number of growth catalysts that we think will propel the company into a very attractive valuation opportunity for investors today. So with that, Joe, I'll stop and we can take the remaining time for Q&A.
Well, Ron, Matt, thank you for that overview. Let's talk about a few things here. AZYO's got a diverse portfolio of products. Can you give us an overview of the markets that you serve, and more importantly, what benefits do your products have over the competitive products in the market? What sets you apart from whoever else is out there?
Yeah, Joe. So as we think about it, we've actually taken the time to think about how to develop products that are unique, that are differentiated, and provide solutions to the markets that we're serving in a unique way where other products cannot achieve the same benefits. And so as we think about it, we're really focused on this implantable electronic device market. Again, we have the only biological material that's on the market today that remodels into native tissue, and then we're going to enhance that with antibiotics. So very unique offering for that marketplace. There's no other product out there that has a biological activity. As we think about the human dermis, as we talked about, we designed that through a patented process to have a lower inflammatory response based on our processing capabilities. And then finally, as I mentioned, in soft tissue reconstruction, in orthopedic and bone repair, we've designed a platform to better preserve the health of the cells, have a more viable, healthy cells. And we've demonstrated that versus competitive products. So I think, again, we've looked at this implantable device market. We've looked at what's on the market today. We've designed products that are unique and differentiated. And we believe that based on the differentiations can drive significant growth in the company.
You spoke at length about Kangaroo, how it works, and the benefits of it. Can you give us a little more color on Kangaroo RM? What is this next generation product all about? How's that going to work? What's different?
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're basically taking the current Kangaroo envelope, again, which is this biomaterial that remodels into native tissue to help protect the patient from the device through the life of the device. And then we're adding to that the antibiotics rifampin and minocycline. And we're adding in a way that these antibiotics are released. They're released through a controlled mechanism here of a slow release during 7 days after implantation. That's the greatest risk of having infection is after you implant the device. Within the first 7 days, biofilms can form and lead to infection. And so that by adding the antibiotics, we decrease that risk and we protect the patient from an infection perspective. And again, that marketplace today, we actually do compete against another synthetic material that is loaded with antibiotics. And then that synthetic material dissolves. It doesn't have a biological impact like our Kangaroo envelope does. So we believe we're uniquely positioned to have a biological material. In fact, we're the only ones with the biological material. And then we'll have the antibiotics. As we think about that marketplace today, our competitor, which again is just a synthetic material with antibiotics, we believe achieves revenue of more than $120 million today. That's why we're so confident we believe Kangaroo RM, which we believe is a superior product by having a biological effect plus the antibiotics, should generate more than $100 million as well. And again, if we think about where we are from a company perspective and our revenue, you can do the math quickly and see that's quite a tremendous growth opportunity for our company.
Can you give us an overview then of the multi-channel commercialization strategy here that you've got going, which includes a direct sales organization and partnerships with other entities like Boston Scientific? Give us a little more background on that.
Yeah, so what we've done, Joe, is we've kind of taken the approach of, what is the best go-to-market strategy that can allow the most patients possible that could benefit from our product. And so we've looked at what's the best way to go to market for each of our products. And so we actually have quite a number of different business models. With the goal, again, is to optimize patients receiving our product, which obviously then optimizes revenue and profit opportunities for the company. So for Kangaroo, we sell it direct, as I mentioned, but then we complement that through our partnerships with Boston Scientific and Biotronic. And so we think there's actually a multiplier effect. So our reps are the biologic experts. They're in the cases and playing the devices. We have the opportunity to have both sales forces work together, has a much bigger impact than us by ourselves. On the orthobiologic side, we've taken more of a B2B approach. We focused on R&D, product development, data differentiation, and then we let our partners really focus on the commercialization using their already established relationships that they have with surgeons through their own commercial channel. And so we found more of a B2B approach. Gives us the opportunity to basically drive higher revenue at an improved profitability perspective as well. So again, we look at the product, we look at the market, and then we look at what's the most optimal way for us to have the most patients as possible benefit from our technologies.
Matt, from a financial perspective, you've raised capital recently. What are the key financial things that people in the investment community ought to know about Aziyo going forward here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joe, I think in terms of key financial highlights, Ron has touched on a couple of them, but I'd start off with our revenue growth rate, which is a little bit obscured by some changes in our financials that have occurred and a discontinuation of a product recently. So we would like to point people to the growth rate excluding that discontinued product, so more of a growth rate on continuing operations. So if you look at our guidance for 2022, we've guided to revenue of $47 to $50 million in total. And on more of a continuing operations basis, that would translate to between 11 and 18% growth year over year. So really a robust growth rate, even in our current mode, and there's very little contribution embedded in those numbers related to this new product that we expect to come out by year end here. So when you look a little bit longer term into 2023 and beyond, and you think about that $100 million revenue opportunity associated with Kangaroo RM, that should really propel the growth of the company forward in the coming years. And, when you think about where we're trading, more or less 1.5 times sales for the estimates for 2022, to me, that seems like a real opportunity for investors. Beyond revenue growth rates, I would also point to our gross margin, which historically has been above 50% on an adjusted basis, excluding non-cash amortization expense. We've been a little bit lower than that in recent quarters because of some one-time effects. I would expect that number also to come back in the very near term to 50% or greater. And then longer term, as our product mix shifts more towards the Kangaroo RM product and cardiovascular space, you would see those gross margins come up even higher, more into the range of typical medical device companies in the 60 to 70% range. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for financial growth. From a cash point of view, we mentioned we had $30 million on the balance sheet at the end of the year. And, that's a product of having just completed that financing. So we feel like we're in good shape from a cash point of view.
Great. Let's talk about your international expansion opportunities. What's that look like? What is your strategy looking internationally?
Sure. So we believe we have the opportunity to grow internationally as well. Most of our historical sales, you can look at more than 95% of our historical sales have been in the U.S. But we believe with the Kangaroo now available in Europe with a antibiotic label to include hydration, that's going to open up a chance to expand and grow our business within that marketplace. And again, as I mentioned, we're partnered with Biotronic for that product. Again, they have a very strong presence within the European marketplace. We think there's also opportunity, obviously, beyond Europe. And we see that really from an upside perspective as we think about the forecasting for our company. Anything that we really see from an international growth perspective, we would treat as upside. And so we are opportunistic here and believe that we can generate additional revenue through other international markets. But we'll treat that more from an upside perspective as we think about the forecast and guidance for our company.
Well, we'll leave it there. Ron, Matt, we thank you very much for your time today and for all of the great information on the company. Sounds like there's a lot of exciting things going on there. And so we look forward to staying in touch with the company over the coming years. To anyone else who's out there that has not already signed up for a one-on-one meeting with Ron and Matt, again, please visit the Lytham Partners website at lythampartners.com/virtual. and click on the one-on-one meeting request button. We hope you enjoy the rest of the conference and hope you have a great day. Thank you all.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Take care.
Thank you, guys.